Hi and Mary Lake got married 68 years ago. But when you hear Mary talk about the day Hi proposed, you'd think it was only yesterday.
This guy who was the head of our youth group, and he was driving us, I guess, back home. We had been to all together with the youth. And we were driving back home, and that's when he asked me to marry him.
Hi and Mary have gone through many transitions together. They became parents, overseas missionaries, grandparents, and eventually great-grandparents. But in recent years, they've gone through a new and difficult transition together. A few years ago, Hi was diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
You've forgotten.
Yep.
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's is a brain disease that causes memory loss, confusion, and even difficulty recognizing family members. But for Hi, there are some memories that neither time nor Alzheimer's can take away from him: faith, music, and the love of his life. Although Hi sometimes has difficulty recognizing his children and grandchildren, he has never forgotten his wife, Mary. He even remembers what she wore the day they met in a church youth group over 70 years ago in Johnson City, New York.
A yellow sweater and a gray skirt, and I don't remember the
Yeah, saddle shoes with yellow
shoes.
socks.
Yeah.
Husband and wife for more than 2/3 of their lives, he still calls her things like doll and baby.
Those are my names, and he's the only one that ever called me that, so that's great. And I always think, boy, nobody can be better than my husband.
Thank you, dear.
Alzheimer's is so terrible that a person can't remember his lifetime and what he's done. I've thought of it many times, and I thought, boy, if there comes a time when he doesn't know who I am, I'm out of here.
As is common with Alzheimer's patients, it is sometimes easier for Hi to remember music than faces.
I know that with Alzheimer's, that's part of it, that they remember their music and remember every word, and that's a wonderful part of it.
With 3 of their 4 children living in the same city, Hi and Mary are regularly visited by family.
We love all our children and our grandchildren, and that's a wonderful part of our life, isn't it? Just to have us all together.
Hi and Mary spent 8 years as missionaries overseas, and their faith has been the foundation of their family, which is something else that Hi does not forget.
23rd Psalm.
Yep.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He restoreth my soul. Yea, though I walk through valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Because of his Alzheimer's, Hi lives in a long-term care facility where he has access to nurses 24 hours a day. Because of this, he and Mary have been living apart for the last 4 years.
Every time I come over and visit him, whenever I leave, he says, "Can I go home with you?" And that hurts. I mean, it's so awful that we can't be together. And we keep saying, this isn't right. We should not be separate. We should be still living together. But that's the way it is here. And we've had to live with it. And it's not easy.
Although being separated is hard for Hi and Mary, they both do what they can to make it work. Mary walks over from her apartment to visit almost every day, and Hi's nurses remind him to call and say goodnight. Their current living situation might be difficult, but knowing they were right for each other 70 years ago certainly wasn't.
How did we know? Do you?
Just know.
In Hi's bedroom, there are Bible verses that were found in his desk before he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. This verse is the essence of how Hi and Mary have lived their life together and worked through the hard times, with family, faith, and more than enough love for this lifetime.
Well, I love you.
Oh, I love you.
I love you.
Yeah,
And I'll love you till the end of time.
that's right.
Yep.
It doesn't feel like it, does it?
No, because, oh my, I